Hey everyone, Rebecca Martin from Rebecca Martin Coaching, teaching you transformational public speaking skills for the workplace and also for your life. So today I want to talk to you about a topic that probably could have been very helpful during this Thanksgiving holiday season, and that is how to truly deeply listen. So I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to get into all those controversial topics that most likely came up around the dinner table with a glass of wine. But I am going to share that deeply listening, learning how to truly understand a subject matter or a point of view from the other person's perspective is a way to find ultimately understanding and to continue to build a bridge in a relationship. And so that's what we need more of is deep listening. And so today I thought I'd talk to you about how the processes, techniques that you can use in order to deeply listen. So now taking this out of the personal realm and forgetting about the Thanksgiving dinner that you had or did not have, let's just talk about the workplace. When we're in our workplace and we're getting feedback from our boss, or we are listening at a company-wide meeting, or we're listening to leadership, often we can get in our own way with our own inner critic or our mind, monkey mind, just going off about, what do I need to do? What other tasks are on my to-do list? Or what am I going to say? How am I appearing? What do people think of me? And obviously, these two spirals in our minds, rabbit holes that we go down, don't allow us to actually hear what the other person has said or is saying. So this might have come up as a piece of feedback for you that you need to learn how to deeply listen. People need to know that you're hearing them, that you're understanding them. You need to have the information that is being communicated to you during a meeting, and you seem to not truly be there, be listening, and able to take that information and move it towards its next steps. So, deep listening is a very important skill set and often is not taught. So, I wanted to give you a few techniques to help you to learn how to deeply listen, train yourself every day to have some times of deep listening. Now, I'm just going to also give you another reason to practice deep listening, which is our own nervous system regulation. So, because we are so busy, because we can multitask, like a badass, but maybe not so badass because it's not very effective. Because we can have multiple tabs open, because we can be typing on Slack while we're in a meeting and giving somebody notes or feedback. Um, our nervous system tends to get very dysregulated. And all I'll say is that we are outside of ourself. And so when we're outside of ourself, it's very hard for us to actually be present, take in information, and feel calm and comfortable. When we're outside of ourself, we feel deeply anxious because our system, our body doesn't like that at all. So really learning how to be fully present, deeply listen can help you to feel more calm, grounded, centered, relaxed. Give your nervous system a break throughout the day, throughout the course of a meeting. And so just taking a moment to get present and deeply listen can help you regulate your nervous system and feel better as well, deal with the stress. So I'm going to give you three techniques to work with to train yourself to deeply listen. And the first technique is taking notes. So, taking notes can be a very helpful technique to literally write down the words that are being said to you. Now, it doesn't matter if you feel like you may or may not actually look at your notes later. It's actually not for that purpose. It's so that as you are hearing the words that are being said to you, you are able to process them in a couple of different ways through your ears, through hearing those words, and also through writing those words. And most of us need a couple ways of processing the information in order to truly take it in. So try to just simply write notes, write what the person is saying, maybe in outline form, maybe even key words that you hear. And this will give you a document that you can look back and see what you wrote. You can also remind yourself what was objectively said. And like I said, the process of taking notes can help you to be more present with the words that are actually being spoken to you and gives your mind something to focus on. The second technique to truly deeply listen is to breathe deeply while you're holding eye contact with the person who is speaking. Now, this might sound obvious, but you might notice in your workday that's coming up how many times you hold your breath while somebody else is speaking. Most of us do this when we have a thought and something to say. Most of us will do this when we're hearing something that we don't like so that we don't feel the pain of hearing that information, even if it just makes us frustrated or we don't internally actually want to do that task. We will unconsciously hold our breath. When we hold our breath, our mind almost freezes. It's like no new thoughts are coming in. We're only swimming in the thoughts that are currently in our mind. So holding your breath is the best way to not hear what the person is saying to you. Therefore, breathing intentionally, deeply, slowing down the inhale, slowing down the exhale while making eye contact, you you can't help but stay in the present moment with the person who's in front of you. Just the act of breathing and eye contact intentionally will make your psyche, your body, think about what that person is saying and what they're communicating to you. So now the third technique that I want to share with you kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. And I mentioned it a little bit in this last sentence, which is there's something that your audience, the person you're listening to, is saying to you, their content, and there's something that they're communicating to you, which might be underneath their content. So the third technique is for you to ask yourself, what is underneath their words? What are they not saying? What other messages am I receiving that they're communicating that will help me to understand them in a deeper way, in a more three-dimensional way, in a way that helps me to understand their entire perspective? So we've all had experiences where somebody is saying some words, choosing to use some words, but their body language and the tone with which they're saying it and the I was going to say intensity behind it feels almost counter to the content. And so, in this way, when we listen to not just the content, but we listen to the feeling, the energy, the emotion, the tone, the body language underneath the words or behind the words, we get a deeper understanding as to where that person is, where they're speaking from, what their true message is. Because just like us, most people have a hard time finding the exact right words in the moment. We can get a lot more understanding if we look at them in holistically, in a whole picture. So I hope this felt helpful to you. These are three techniques that I teach my clients, and they have found them to be very rewarding. And you simply do one or all three of these once a day, and you can train yourself to be a deeper listener, to be able to listen and get the bigger picture, to be more present while you're listening. And this benefits your audience, obviously, helps you to be better at your job, and it benefits you. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave any comments you might have in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate you doing that. And check out my other videos. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.